American, Western Africa, right?
Mhm.
Did you feel a deeper sense of connection or belonging? Can you actually share a particular moment or experience that evoked strong emotions? I mean, strong emotions. All right.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you mine. All right. I remember when I was very young, and
Mhm.
we used to hear this slave trade, all these slave trade. Whenever we are being taught in school, we take it lightly, right? We don't, we feel like we are learning regular history. So there's a program called Panafest, all right? Now I think it's evolved to year of the 10 or after 10 or something, but before it was Panafest, all right? So you see a lot of African American come to a place in Ghana called Cape Coast. I'm sure you know the place, all right? So I was young and I was taking there school, like school. We went for an excursion to Kiko's Castle. So we went to Kiko's Castle. Then they were narrating. The narrator, is it the narrator? The tour guide was talking to us about what happened. He took us to some places, and some places where they call where they both the slaves were sleeping. You feel the smell. I mean, the presence is still there. I mean, so I mean, I was just thinking about the whole. I was too young to process the whole thing, but one thing struck me. One lady, African American, just burst out. She just started crying uncontrollably. So I was just looking at her. Then another white lady, I don't know whether she was part of the tourist. She came to hug her and said, "It's okay, we are sorry." That's what she told her.
Mm.
So yeah, that really struck me, and I got very interested. I became very interested in this whole topic of African diaspora. Then
Yeah.
growing up, I saw there's this kind of disconnection, and I mean this whole some kind they call it. I even heard there's something like diaspora war and all these kind of things that I heard. So I got interested in that, and here we are. All right. So
Yes.
like I asked before, what what were the moments? Was there any moments or experience that really evoked that strong emotions? And how was it feel?
No, absolutely. When I went to the Cape Coast Castle, I like in the States you do learn about slavery, but you learn about it from like an American lens. So going over to Ghana, uh, I was able to experience it, the journey firsthand. So you know, experiencing those, seeing like learning that, seeing the dungeons there, the slave dungeons, and then going through the walk of what they went through, that really touched me because it was like our ancestors went through so much, and it was very emotional and touching when I was there. Uh, it was a lot to take in.
Yeah,
It was a lot to
yeah,
take in. You really have to sit down and process everything and think about it. Seeing the door of no return. Like you hear so much about this door of no return, and you think like the people who went through this door never came back home. That is
mm,
so sad.
mm,
Like it's so sad.
yes,
It's really sad. And when you make it over into the other side, you're stripped away of your culture, your
mm,
name, your identity, who you are. But we somehow, some way, were able to preserve a lot of it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Caribbeans are, we're able to preserve a lot of African cultures and traditions, and it's very prevalent in Jamaica. Even how we speak patois, it has some Macan words in it. So, you know, we're able to preserve that way, and then just experiencing that whole entire like slave dungeons and the walk and seeing them. They had to walk through their last bath.
mm,
It was a lot, but I think it's important for people to go there and learn about it. I think it's very important for Black people to go there and learn about it and learn like where their ancestors might have endured before they came over to the New World in America.
wow. So how has this changed your life? How has it shaped your thoughts?
Yeah, if anything, it made me more proud to be
Mm,
African.
mm,
Yeah, period. It
mm,
made me more proud to be African. It made me more proud to realize that my ancestors are very resilient in it was just, that's just how I feel. Very proud.
Wow, that as an African or as a black person, you shouldn't easily be broken, right?
Hmm.
If your ancestors went through this tough
Hmm.
moment for more than 400 years in this, and the ancestors are still surviving, it means
Right.
there's nothing like breaking us down. Like, I agree. All
Hmm.
right, so let's move away from um, this deep conversation, right? Let's talk a little bit about business, all right? So for our viewers who might be interested in exploring Africa or any part of the world, all right, can you share some massive visit places or experience that are often overlooked?
Yeah. So some places that are okay, some places that I've been to that are sometimes often overlooked is Cuba. Listen to me. When you go to Cuba, there is African culture in everything. Everything from their food, their music, their culture, their religion. There is
Wow,
Africa in everything. So Cuba is a must see destination for a Pan Africanist. Absolutely.
wow,
Yeah.
Cuba,
Mm-hmm. I know. It's one of those destinations. Yep.
wow. I would have expected Jamaica or
Yeah.
uh, wow, Cuba.
Yes, you have to add
Interesting.
Cuba. Yep, add Cuba to the list. Of course, other places I've been to, like Colombia, has a very, very deep Afro culture there as well. Of course, in the Caribbean, I've been to Jamaica, very deep African roots as well. Where else? Any place that has a large African presence, I personally like to travel to.
All right. So for anyone who wants to come to Africa, what do
Mhm.
you have for them? As
Yes.
Zan Lifestyle, what do you have for us?
Yes. So yes, so
And
January.
for those of us in Africa, all right, it's every time it's every time our diaspora or our African, Jamaican, African Caribbean family come here to Africa. I mean, just talk about that, the packages that you have for them, and also if you have anything for we Africans who also want to connect with our family outside Africa, like Jamaica and all these places.
Yeah, so as my company ZanZan Lifestyle, I do put on group trips. I do have a group trips for Ghana, January 13th through the 19th. We will be exploring Ghana, so that's upcoming. So if anybody wants to join that one, you can definitely put your deposit in. And then also, if you are in Africa and you want to come over to explore, I will have some additional group trips coming up. I have Brazil in March 6th through 11th. And you can also send me an email if you want me to put together a package or an itinerary for you. I do offer those services as well.
Wow, interesting. So I think we have two questions. Let's look at two questions, then we wrap up. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
so
So, how has experience in Africa firsthand shaped your perception of the entire continent? All right. Its people, its vast culture, and what message or story do you hope to convey to your followers about Africa?
yeah, you know what? All the preconceived notions that you've had of Africa, just throw it out the window. I think it's best to go there and experience it firsthand for yourself. Um, you know, there's parts of Africa that are so beautiful and so developed, and the people really make the place what it is, right? Um, it's it's an amazing place to visit. It's a huge continent, and so of course each country will be a different experience and a different culture. But I truly wish every Black person, before you leave this earth, you must visit the continent of Africa. You must. It's a must.
Wow,
You have to
it's a
one
must.
time. It's a must. It's a must. For one time in your life, you have to visit the continent of Africa.
Okay, so I think you've said it already, but I also want to, it can be the same answer to
Yeah.
retrace it, all right?
Yeah.
So to close, all right, to conclude our discussion, if there is one thing that you like our viewers, all right, um, African Americans or Africans or Black people around the world to take away about Africa, all right, and Africans take away about African Americans,
Yeah.
especially from an African American perspective, what
Yeah.
would that be?
I would say that we share more similarities than we do differences. And if
Wow.
can be more open-minded with one another, there would be more unity. Um, there would be more unity. So um, that's what I want to take away. I want people to take
Oh,
away.
okay, so Zan, just tell us how we can contact you. Yes, I know that everything will be on the screen for viewers to see, but I mean, maybe in case I miss anything,
Yeah.
what do you? Yeah, let's our viewers know where they can locate you, where they can just get quick in touch with you. I know you are a very busy person, and where can we easily get hold of you?
Yeah, you can send me a message to my email, travel at zanzanlifestyle.com.
Mm.
I'm on TikTok, ZanZanLifestyle. I'm on TikTok every day.
Yeah, I actually love your TikTok. Your TikTok really make anyone want to travel, but I think you have to do more of YouTube short too.
Okay, I'm I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it.
All right, all right.
Yes,
So
on it.
I'm so much thankful for being here. I'm very excited. I'm very proud of you for what you do. I've been going through your Instagram and your TikTok, the kind of things. I understand you're a remote worker, right? I saw one
Yes.
of the
Oh
videos you talked
yes.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm also a remote worker. The company that I work for is based in San Francisco Bay.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
All right. So
As a remote worker, it has even
mm,
more. Um,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, as a worker, it has allowed me to travel even more
Mm,
because when I was looking for a remote job, I was looking for jobs that have locations outside of America. And I knew
mm,
if they're located outside of America, that means I could travel and be on their
yeah.
network, right? So being a remote worker, I'm able to travel and see destinations at the same time. And that has absolutely given me a lot more freedom and flexibility to see the world. That's how.
Oh, okay. So remote job has given you that flexibility to move across the
Oh,
world, right?
yes. Yes, because
Wow.
before I was working in an office, remember, you only get 10 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah,
can't, you have to really make and then you have to move around the holidays. And when you travel during the holidays, it's more money. So when you can as
exactly.
so when you're a remote worker, you can fly it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It's much cheaper than if you were to
Mm-hmm.
try to fly it on a Friday or a Saturday. So I've taken a lot of trips where I was actually still working remote, and that's how I'm able to see the world. And of course,
Wow.
I'd love to go to Africa more. I would love to go to Africa every year, new country every year. So that is something that I'm going to plan to do from here on out.
I think I have to explore this remote thing with you, all right? Because
Yes.
now being a remote worker, I've seen that there's benefits and opportunities. There's some good in living in Africa, all right? Because I definitely know that if I were to live in the places like the way the companies situate or located,
Mhm.
probably I'll be paying thousands of hundreds of thousands of rent or thousands of in rent or maybe higher bill. But here in Africa, here in Ghana, I pay little. I mean, I enjoy the sun. I can enjoy the beach and all that. So I would love that I get hold of you to come and talk to us about the remote job, the strategy and the opportunities, and how some of your travelers, how you can show them to have the most out of life and living it, all right, by working and also moving across Africa to explore. All right. I hope you make that happen.
Yes, I'll make some videos about that as well.
Yes, and I will gladly share on this channel.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that.
All right, so guys, thanks so much. Thanks so much for sticking around. This is Zan and Zan Lifestyle. Please check her socials. All right, she offers the best packages when it comes to traveling and traveling across Africa and the Caribbean, connecting Africans and the Black people around the world. Not only Black people